got out at the gym. Oh, it's so late already. What am I gonna eat? I'll just grab something on the way home. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having an amazing day, an amazing week. Today's video is all about staying healthy on the go. So you didn't have time to meal prep, you didn't have time to get healthy snacks, going to have an alcoholic drink out for dinner, you're going to order a coffee out and about, not making it at your own home. What are the healthiest options? What are the low sugar options? You know, things with protein, things with nutrients that are not going to make us feel like, ugh. Also, what to order at a fast food restaurant. So that's all going to be in today's video. I get so many messages all the time, you know, I feel like such a failure because I was doing so good, but then this week, you know, I did have to buy food on my lunch break. I didn't have time to bring something from home. Guys, you know what that's called? That's called life. It happens. But at least you have this video now where you can choose healthier options when you are on the go. So if you want to hear all my picks, then just keep watching. So tip number one is honestly my favorite tip. We're starting with the best first today, and that is when you need a healthy lunch or a healthy snack, a grab and go, and that is to go to your closest grocery store or the closest gas station. I know, who would think that gas stations would have healthy foods, but they do actually now, and it's kind of crazy to me that, like, where was this when I was a kid and we were on long car rides and this and that, but whatever, that's a whole other story. So when you're in the car and you're thinking about, oh my god, I need something within like the next 30 minutes because I have to be here, probably not thinking stopping at a gas station or stopping at the grocery store. Those both sound like time-consuming things, and the gas station, you're usually like, forget about it, like, what are they gonna have besides Twizzlers? And then the grocery store, you think this whole ordeal and this and that. No, the grocery stores are great. What I like to do is I'll go into the aisles where they have the pre-made food or snacks or wraps or salad. They usually always have like hard-boiled eggs ready, or they have carrots with hummus or carrots with ranch in them, and you can just grab that and go and bring it with you. And also, to make things even quicker, they usually have express lines, so you can just check out yourself and you can go, and it's just as fast as going into a fast food restaurant and just ordering and going. I know it's not the same as like driving through, it's not a drive-through, but it's still very quick, and usually everything is already portioned out. And they do you one even better, and they sometimes put stickers on the back of things that show you the calories, the macros, ingredients, and all of that. And the same thing with gas stations. They always have like carrots and hummus or like hard-boiled eggs ready, or even like wraps and salads. Okay, the next tip is coffee. Oh, coffee in the morning. So I always get asked, you know, what should you get at a cafe, or what should you get at the coffee shop? Just like my food, I normally like to prep my coffee at home. I just make like a regular pot of coffee. But during the week when I've had like a stressful day, or say I like completed all my goals of the day, I like to treat myself to a coffee. Since it's summer and warm outside, I do like iced coffees, and I order an iced almond milk latte. There's espresso in lattes, so that kind of gives it more of like a buttery flavor. It's not going to be super sweet if you're like a person that loves super sweet coffee like I used to. When I first started drinking coffee, I liked it sugary sweet. I ordered like those like frappuccinos with like extra caramel, and like I liked it super sweet. Now, okay, so I just had to pause myself here for a second. These are the nutritional facts for a grande, not even a large, caramel macchiato from Starbucks. 37 carbs, 34 sugars. That is as much as a meal, and we're wasting that on a drink. Now that I've become a coffee drinker, I kind of like that rich, I don't know, that like luscious like coffee taste. Now if you're not a coffee drinker and you just like to order something fruity, or you just want like an iced drink, I love the unsweetened iced teas. Pretty much everyone has them. I got this particular one at a farmer's market, but I get them at Starbucks, I get them at Cafe Lux, you know, Peet's Coffee. Basically, I'll just ask, you know, what iced tea flavors can you do unsweetened? Because some, especially at Starbucks, they only come sweetened. So you have to ask, you know, what flavors do you have unsweetened? And they'll give you a list. Usually it's like a hibiscus berry or some sort of a green tea, but it does help. You know, you want the fruity taste. Maybe you're out with friends and you don't want to be the weirdo not ordering anything. I'm on a diet, but I can still hang. The next tip you can start doing right away when you're eating out, whether you're eating healthy or not healthy, you just start doing this, and it's so helpful. Order lemon water. One of my friends reminded me of this tip Lemon water can suppress your appetite. It can also help digest your food. It can make you feel more full, but overall it's helpful for digesting your food when you're out for dinner, because when you're out for dinner, they are using more sodium. They're cooking with all sorts of things, which we have no idea what they're doing, which is kind of scary if you think about it. Restaurant tip is kind of a menu hack too. Most wraps and sandwiches can also be made into a salad. So say you're out for dinner or out for lunch and you're like, none of these salads are really jumping out at me and they're all seeming so boring. Ask the waiter if you can make one of the wraps a salad, which is what I did here. I used to always ask for this at Applebee's. I would always say, like, can you make the Asian chicken wrap a salad? And that's like one easy thing you can do. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you a list of the things that I order when I'm out and about, when I'm at a restaurant or a cafe or something like that. So for lunch, usually I like some sort of a salad. I think leafy greens are great midday because they give you sort of that kick, like that you feel full. Like, you know how like when you have lunch in the middle of the day when you're at work, you feel like, I'm so tired after lunch. Like you feel sluggish, like a fog. You feel like you need coffee right after. Yeah, that's not good. That's usually from like heavy carbs during the day. So midday, I like a salad or a wrap of some sort. Now for dinner, my go-tos are usually our salmon with asparagus, chicken with a side of veggies, steak with a side of veggies, or potatoes. Steak and potatoes is just like my go-to. And that's usually what I do. I usually think that some sort of lean meat or fish is one of the best things you can get when you are out for dinner. Something not breaded. Okay, so these are my personal fast food picks. I'd love to hear what your favorites are, and you can do different restaurants. That would actually be really helpful if you commented your favorites down below. I'd love to hear your healthy picks from fast food restaurants. Now, the only problem is, even if they are low sugar, low calorie, low carb, the thing to keep in mind is the sodium. So if you are in a pickle, see what I did there? You can still get these, but just make it once in a while. I just want to quickly talk about alcohol. I honestly don't know a ton about alcohol. I'm going to be honest, but I do know all those like fruity, colorful, bright, funky drinks have a lot of sugars in them. I do know that they use like different juices. At the end of the day, that one drink, which usually people don't just have one, sometimes people have more drinks, could be just as much as an entire meal, except drinking is empty calories, and empty calories do no good for our bodies. They make us put on fat, make us more hungry. A lot of times when people are drinking, they also want to eat more because your body's not getting the nutrients from that drink. So it's like, feed me more, feed me something else. So I try to stay away from like the sugary, funky cocktails. What I do like to get is a glass of wine, any color. I think they're both kind of around the same. Personally, I'm into white wines at the moment. Wintertime, it'll be all about the red. But right now, it's all about, you know, like the pear kind of crisp drinks. I love a Sauvignon Blanc. The other drinks that I like are a Skinny Girl Margarita. So yeah, wine, Skinny Girl Margarita, or a light beer. My favorite beer is Corona. I love a Corona, and I'll usually get Corona Light if it's like a Mexican restaurant and I want chips dip in my Corona Light with a lime. That's my drink. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my website. I do have meal plans on there, and follow me on Instagram for more behind the scenes or what I'm eating or just random stories of me and my dog. I love you guys so much and have an awesome day. Bye.